Okay, so as an archer, Tess has a shooting percentage of 85%. That means she hits the bullseye 85% of the shots she makes, or she attempts. If she attempts 410 shots this season, on about how many shots will she hit the bullseye? So important things. Tell me what's important. We have, she hits the bullseye 85% of the time. She attempts 410, right? So the first thing you need to draw me is a number line, right? So here's my number line, 0%, 100%, oops, that's not 100%, right? This part right here is going to be 85%. If that's 85%, then this part is 15%, right? Then it says she attempts 410 shots. This is the total. Total is 410, okay? So I need to write my ratios. So percent is always over what number? Percent they give us is 85%, is always over 100. On the other side, we have one other piece of information, right? 410. So you need to decide, does 410 go in the numerator or the denominator? Is it the part or is it the whole? It is the whole, right? 410. Now, here's the key thing. I tell you about, right? Because if you don't use that keyword, then it's going to be an exact number. It's going to be a decimal, right? So what number can I multiply from 100 to 410? Estimation, right? Give me a good number. You should have chosen 4, right? So about 4. If I do about 4 when I multiply, you can give me that final answer there, okay? And then you want to give me reason for your estimation. So when you do your corrections, I'll be looking for that. Okay. This one, right? So tax rate is 6%. Convert this percent to a fraction. What I want you to do for this is write out the answer, but then I want you in this video to give me an explanation. How do I go from percent to fraction? For this one, I want you to tell me how to go from percent to decimal. And that's it. So then you need the answers for the rest of them, okay? And that you can use your calculator if you need to, okay? Last question. Assuming that the line is evenly divided, calculate all the missing values in the diagram. Now, here's the biggest error you guys always make, right? You keep counting these tick marks. It is not the tick marks that we're looking for. It is the spaces, right? So that is worth something. That is worth an amount, okay? So in order to figure out this part, you want to go with what's given. In math, you always go with what is given to me. So I have 64 and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, okay? So what operation do I use to find out what each space is? I use division. So if I take 64 and divide it by 4, you'll be able to get that answer. Right? Then this answer right here that you get is very important because you'll be able to use it to fill in each of these spaces. I'm sorry, this is going to be on the top. Each of those spaces, right? And then you'll be able to figure out y. And then for x, you also need to know on the bottom row, right? So I have 100%, and how many spaces do I have on the bottom, right? So if I take 100 and I divide it by however many spaces I have on the bottom, you'll be able to figure out each space, and then you'll be able to figure out x, okay? The bottom part, you have to write a proportion, right? So percents always go over what number, right? And then, so we put the percent. We don't know what the percent is, so you can just use any of them, right? If I use x over 100, right? Then you need to look at the part over the whole. So what number do I put in my numerator? What number do I put in my denominator? This 45 is what's given to us. That's the part. The total is 150, and that's the whole. And then I can solve from there, right? What can I divide? So I can't easily go from 150 to 100, right? But what number can I easily divide by to simplify it, right? So the first number you should really think of is 5, right? So if I divide by 5 over 5, there's my big 1. This simplifies. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. 150 divided by 5 is 30, right? I still can't easily go from 30 to 100, so I'm going to simplify again. Later on, you might have to use decimals, fractions, and that's okay, but I wouldn't do that to you guys without a calculator, right? So what can I divide both 90 and 30 by? Okay, you should have said 3. 90 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now, I bring this number down, right? X over 100. So how do I go from 10 to 100? I multiply it by 10. Same thing in my numerator. 3 times 10 will give you X. And that will give you that answer here, right? So if this part is X and you find that, all you have to do is take 100 and minus that X number. That will give you what Y is, right? Same thing for the numerator, or for the top part. All I got to do is take my total, take out 45. So 150 minus 45, and that will give me my answer there. Okay? If you have other questions, please come see me at lunch. Make your corrections. I'm going to count the points online on Edpuzzle, and then you have to show me your corrections in your notebook for extra points as well, okay, to redeem your guys'